Hey everybody, welcome back. By popular demand, today we're doing Unity. I'm going to be comparing the builds on this beast of a machine. It's an Intel Core i9 12900KF with a RTX 3080, and the GPU matters here because we're going to be looking at how the GPU interacts with the gameplay itself and the frames per second that we're getting in that. And we're comparing that to the M1 Ultra Mac Studio right here. This one has a 48 core GPU, 64 gigs of RAM. Anyway, you'll find all the specs down below. I got Unity installed here. Now, one note about the versions. The one running here is the Apple Silicon version on the Mac Studio, of course. Wanted to get that latest and greatest. There is an Intel version available, and this is the version number right here, 2021.2.17F1. Same exact version installed on the Windows machine. And I've also installed different targets. So each one of these machines now targets Linux, macOS, and Windows. So in other words, I can cross-compile between these. And that way we can test out the speed of each one of these machines as they target Linux, for example, which neither one of these is. When you have the same target, then the machine has to work just as hard to use the same source to do the build. Anyway, let's get going, shall we? I'm going to create a new project, and I'm going to time how long that takes. And let's start with a clean slate here. Okay, new project, and I'm gonna base this on the Cinematic Studio sample. I've already downloaded the template on both of these machines, so I don't have to wait for the download to happen. It's just going to create the project, but it's gonna be slightly bigger than the Hello World 3D project. So I'll select Cinematic Studio and give this a name. All right, I'm gonna click these at the same time to get a visual on when these will be done, and we'll also have a timer on the screen to show when each one finishes. And let's go. Okay, looks like the Mac might be a little bit ahead right now. Let's see what happens. So the Mac tells me hold on. The Windows one tells me busy for 54 seconds. And the Mac one is spinning beach ball. Spinning beach ball of shame, as one commenter called it. There is one more step. The project is complete, you can start working with it, but there's the compiling compute variants asynchronous process that's still happening. But clearly the Mac Studio is way ahead because the Windows machine still has to do that as well. Okay, so the Windows machine is finished now, and it's doing the compiling compute variants as well. And that one is done, Mac Studio. I'm just waiting for this one now. Okay, the Windows machine is done now too. I think we'll have to give this one to the Mac. Took quite a bit less time to do that one. All right, I'm gonna close this project down. I'm gonna create a new project, and this one's gonna be based on the 3D core. And I'm gonna use a trick that you all showed me during our live stream the last time we did this. I'm gonna add a pretty large asset into this project and then build. So this is a pretty small project. It shouldn't take that long, but nonetheless, I'm gonna click these at the same time, and we'll still see how long it takes to create. Okay, the Mac is done. Still waiting on Windows. Okay, now the Windows machine is done. That took considerably longer. Now what we're gonna do is actually configure a build. So I'm gonna go to build settings here, and you can see that on the Mac, by default, it's gonna target Mac OS, and the architecture will be a unified architecture with Intel and Silicon, but you can choose a different target if you want to. So I'll just keep it at that, the defaults, and let's go over here on Windows to build settings. Here, the default is Windows 64-bit. And I'm gonna select clean build. We haven't built this before, but I'll do a clean build anyway, and we'll time this. All right, let's go. Oh, really wish it wouldn't do that. So I need to enter, of course, save as. Let's do this AZ3D2 build 1. Let's go. Come on. Mac is done. Select folder. Okay, now it's building. Why the difference in the way they work? So that was a very, very quick build, as you can see. I don't even know if we were able to get a time on that. Hopefully we were. I'm gonna try to do a clean build one more time so we can get a clean time on it, and let's go. Oh, you're gonna ask me again? You're kidding me. I wish there was a flag that I could just check to
just shut up and do it
without asking me tons of questions. I'm gonna change the build target now to Linux on both of these. And there we go. Now, when I do that, it's going to compile some stuff so it can set Linux up. And now it's ready for a Linux build. So I'm gonna do a clean build as well. And here, let's call this build 2 Linux. And I'm gonna click save at the same time. Let's go. That time I got it. Now it's actually building at the same time. We'll maybe be able to see who wins. I think the Mac finished first, but it was a close call because it's such a tiny app anyway. So there's a Linux build for you. But these are all really small. Most of our projects are not Hello World projects, right? So let's add some assets to it. Let's add a large asset. I'm gonna go to Package Manager here and My Assets. And I do have this 3D game kit, which I'm going to import. Now I've already downloaded it, so we don't need to worry about that step. So all I gotta do is import it, and I'm gonna time that operation as well. Okay, is it doing it? Oh, it's gonna give me some message first before it does the import. And here it's gonna install and upgrade the dependencies. And after this, I think it'll actually do the import. All these questions, come on, Unity, just assume stuff. Maybe it's not a good thing to assume stuff all the time. All right, let's go. Now we're timing it. Is it doing something on the Mac? Yeah, it's doing it, but it's giving me a warning again. Really? I thought we already went through this process. Okay. Okay, that didn't take too long. Now I need to click import one more time to select which assets I want to import. I want to import all of them from this kit, so let's go. Here is a big import right here. This looks like it's going to take a while. And this one's done importing. Again, faster. So far I'm seeing much better performance from the Mac Studio than the Windows machine. They've really tweaked the optimization for the silicon here, and it's working pretty well. All right, let's close this down under 3D game kit. Let's go to scenes here, and I'm gonna open up start. Okay, there's our scene. Let's find that same scene over here. Aha, I gotta give it to them though. They've really done a good job making the experience of this look pretty much the same on both platforms. Nice job, Unity. Okay, now we're gonna do a build, and this build should take a little bit longer because we are building a larger project. So clean and build, and let's call this one build 3. And when I click save, that's when we'll start the timer, and let's go. Oh, listen to that noise. Wow, I got an airplane taking off. Why do you think I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt today? Because I knew this was gonna happen. This looks like it's gonna be a close one. Maybe the Windows machine is even gonna win. Uh-oh, I think the Mac is caught up. Maybe the Mac is ahead now. Actually, I don't know where we are. I'm reading these messages like it means something to me. It doesn't. Kind of wish we had like a progress bar of the overall build instead of every little package. Like I have no idea where in the build process we are. Well, so far we've got almost 3 minutes. Both of them are still building. Oh, the Mac finishes first. Still waiting for the Windows machine to finish. And the Windows machine finishes also. Okay, that's targeting Linux, by the way. I'm gonna switch the targeting to the native platform. So on Windows, it's gonna target Windows. On Mac, it's gonna target Mac. Let's close this out. And what I wanna do now is actually run this scene. I'm gonna run the scene, see how long that takes to start up, and then we'll take some stats during gameplay. All right, so play at the same time and go. Okay, that was pretty close. Let's change this resolution to, I'm gonna set this to full HD. That way both machines are rendering about the same. Oh, wait a minute. Can this be? Okay, look at this. The Windows machine is drawing 534 watts of power. I wonder how it's even alive still. That must be one heck of a power supply. The Mac is drawing 72 watts, which is still quite high, but 535? Wow. You know why that's happening, right? Because now we are also using the GPU, which is a hog for power. Let's take a look at that. So I'm gonna pop open the task manager, and you'll see the GPU is almost at 100%. It's really using it. Now, that's not the only place where it's being used. If we take a look at the Mac, calm down there. Don't explode on me. I'm hearing all kinds of crackles and pops from the Windows machine over there. We are seeing 87% of the GPU being used here as well by Unity. So yeah, this is a pretty CPU and GPU intensive task. Let's have a look at stats. Now these are the stats at the welcome screen. Wow, wow. The frames per second on the Windows machine is huge. Look at that, 500 something FPS. We're getting about 300 on the Mac. Interesting. All right, let's start, and we'll start here as well. Now I can only play one game at a time, so we'll check this one at a time. So starting with Windows, we're about 200 FPS, down to 116 at times. But it's always very smooth and really good. I mean, there's no choppiness at all in there. That's really good. Okay, you can handle 1080p no problem. Not surprised. Let's check this one out. Now here we are. Oh, I just saw a little bit of a glitch, but we're at 130, 140. Let's see if I spin around quickly, if we can knock that down. Oh, I saw it going under 100. You disappoint me, Mac. So this one is not handling it as well. And if I stop, let's see what happens now. Now I did stop this in different spots of the game, so it might be rendering different things on screen right now. However, the Windows machine is showing about 120 frames per second right now. The Mac is showing 140. Let's see if we can switch this to a different resolution. Let's go with 4K. And I'm gonna make my screen larger, restart level. Folks, I am hearing a weird high-pitched cricket sound coming from the Mac. I have not heard that before, but it's disturbing. The fans are spinning about the same speed. The temperature is slightly warmer than usual at 59. Usually it hovers around 44. But that noise, what is that? It's a really interesting high-pitched sound. Haven't heard that before. Okay, so now let's check out the Windows gameplay. We're at 120 FPS, still very good, very smooth. Oh, yeah, that wasn't good. Frames per second is hovering around the same place. Well, now we're down to 100 or so, but pretty good. Very playable and no skips. It does sound like it's gonna take off like an airplane though. Okay, Mac Studios time. Ooh, down to 60 FPS? So far no glitches, but yeah, it's lower FPS for sure. 89, 88, let's jump. Okay. Yeah, no glitches. It doesn't feel as smooth as the Windows machine though. It's definitely using up a lot of that GPU. Check it out, 99% of it. So if we were to look at power metrics right now on the Mac, let's have a look. So total, we're using quite a lot of wattage now. The Mac says using 117 watts right now, while the Windows machine is using 535. Yeah, GPU is being used to the max. That's good to see. But also, we're not getting as high FPS as we would on a Windows machine with an NVIDIA 3080 Ti, which is what's in this box. So I'm gonna stop it right there, and I hope this video was useful to you. It's a tough call. On the one hand, this machine does build faster, the Mac Studio, but on the other hand, the machine with a discrete graphics card does run a smoother game. So if you're playing the game, you might opt for the Windows machine with an RTX card inside. If you're developing, it's still a tough call. You may go with the Mac Studio, pretty valid option at this time. If you found this video useful or entertaining, watching me play this game and fall in the water, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks a lot, folks, and I'll see you next time.